Solar Flash Update September 15th, 2024. ETs foretold to watch out for a comet just before the 5D event. They told me this a while ago. It turns out that we have a comet that is coming towards Earth that is about to become visible right around now. And it turns out that this comet will return again in 26,000 years. So is this the 26,000 year Ascension event that we've heard so much about? We'll talk about it. As always, question your reality and then change it. ThunderWizard.com is the website that supports this YouTube channel. I strongly encourage you to check it out. Check out the higher dimensional energy practices we have there, the personal mentorship, the spiritual counseling, and the live Zoom group, classes available. Books can be found at michaelwilliamdenny.com. And as always, please show up for the live guided interdimensional meditations to bring the 5D solar flash event every Wednesday and Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So we did it. Again, it turns out that yesterday we did a live guided interdimensional meditation specifically focused on sending energy to the sun to release the higher dimensional energy. And as it turns out, there was a massive coronal mass ejection, and there's a solar storm heading towards Earth. And the reports vary back and forth. Some people say it's going to be huge and enormous, and some people say it's just going to be a glancing blow. I personally don't care either way, but I find it very coincidental that these are happening on the days that we do these meditations. So we specifically, and I was led to do this by higher dimensional light beings who guided me to do this over the past 2 years, and we've been doing it. What we did is in our astral bodies, we went first and got some energy from source, and then we went to the center of our galaxy. There's a portal that's been opened since the 14th. We opened a portal there in the black hole at the center of our galaxy, and we have been chanting the sound you hear behind us, which is the sound of Earth shifting up to 5D. And we've been chanting and sending energy into that portal. And I felt a lot of energy yesterday, and we came and did some work with the sun and with the Earth. And sure enough, another large solar storm is headed directly towards Earth. Coincidentally, from the same day that we do this meditation. But what I'm finding really interesting, I just found this out today. There is a comet that is headed towards Earth that's going to be visible in the sky. So this comet is called Tsu-Chin-Shan Atlas Comet. And if you go, just Google Comet October 2024, and it'll come up. So it's just now starting to become visible, I think, in the southern hemisphere. And not too long ago, it was like a week or so ago, I woke up in the morning, and I woke up with a picture in my mind of a calendar with the date October 6th. And that's all. And I found that unusual because, I have dreams just before I wake up, but to have a dream about a calendar saying October 6th. So I went looking for what was on October 6th, and I don't know, I came up with some stuff that I thought might be pertinent to my financial situation. But what's interesting is that this comet, once I saw today that there's a comet that is coming into Earth's view, we're going to be able to see it. In fact, supposedly it's going to be brighter than any of the other stars in the sky, and that it's going to start becoming visible now, and it's going to be its most visible, I think, on the 15th of October. But what was interesting, I went to find out, is there anything special about the movement of this? And it turns out that on October 6th, the comet is going to become completely conjunct with the sun, which means that it's going to be flying. When we look, we won't be able to see it because it's going to be between us and the sun. So from a, like a astrological perspective, it means it's conjunct with the sun. So that is significant, because if you believe that this comet has significance, and I believe that these things do, and if, I'm just putting 2 + 2 + 2, together to get October 6th. These light beings told me maybe a year ago, when I got a bunch of downloads about, the shift coming and all that. I was told that to be on the lookout for a comet, and that when a comet shows up, that the event, whatever it is going to happen right around that time. So October 6th would be a very powerful time, because from our perspective, the comet is going to fuse with the sun. Definitely the light of the sun is going to be hitting that comet. And so if the light from that comet, the energy from it, as it hits Earth, if it has any spiritual power or significance, it's going to be jacked up significantly, because the sun is going to be sending these higher dimensional, as it has been, energy towards us, and it's going to hit this comet. And so the combination of the energy from both of those things are going to be hitting us on October 6th. So again, nobody came and told me on October 6th, blah, blah, blah. I'm just putting things together here. I found that to be very interesting, so we're going to have to see. But what was most interesting to me, and as I've been looking into it, I keep getting all these jolts of energy from my friends who are at the very least telling me this is something to be, not to be dismissed. There's something significant here. But what's interesting is that this comet is on a 26,000 year cycle. So what I haven't figured out is whether or not this comet has been here to Earth before. But they have definitely determined that once it leaves us, it'll come back again in 26,000 years. Now, why is that significant? So all you have to do is just, again, Google Earth cycle 26,000 years. And you'll see that the Earth goes through a precession where it wobbles on its axis, and it goes through makes an entire circle in terms of, which North Star it uses. And, so the Earth wobbles, right? So it draws this circle in the sky. And that entire axis takes 26,000 years. And so this has also been associated with Ascension events, and every 26,000 years, the Earth goes through some kind of, reversal of, all kinds of things. And so a lot of people have said a lot of major, huge events have happened every 26,000 years. It turns out the Yuga cycle, people tell you falsely, because there's two systems and one of them is inaccurate, but people will tell you that we're in Kali Yuga. That's not true. Kali Yuga ended in the 1700s, and so we're actually in Dwapara Yuga. We're headed back towards Satya Yuga, which is the time of enlightenment. But the Yuga cycles take 24,000 years. So they're close to that 26,000 year mark. So, something's up. That's all I know. Something huge is going on. So with this in mind, again, I want to talk to you about what is happening when we're doing these meditations. I've been led to believe, based on my communications with higher dimensional beings, that when we go out and we do these meditations, and so far we've, anywhere between 20 and 30 people show up. It's not a lot in YouTube terms. It's not a lot of people. We might get a couple hundred people who view each one of our, live guided meditations. But what I've been told is that we are actually bringing the shift. We are doing it. We are the ones. When we go out there and we chant the Huar mantra, which was given to me by a light being, And I've come to find out it means Earth shifting up to higher solar radiation, which we could say, shifting to 5D. That we are the ones that are bringing the solar flash event. That's what I've been told, and I am continually told that. And so when I was first shown this, which was a couple of years ago, and I just had the idea, hey, you know what? So there's going to be this solar flash event. Well, what the heck? Let's just go meditate and climb inside the sun and see if we can help things along, and just meditate and imagine sending solar energy to Earth. I just did that off a whim, and the night of, when I was done, and I said, thank you guys, see you later, and I shut off the live stream, the light beings showed up, and they were absolutely beside themselves with gratitude. Like just they wouldn't stop thanking me. Thank you so much. You have no idea what you've accomplished. You have no idea how powerful that was. You did this, and it was right after that there was a huge solar storm, and they said, you did that. You're the one that did that. And then it freaked me out so much, and it was such a huge effect on me that I stopped doing it. And then my friend here, this guy, my ET friend, came to me and he said, I want to show you something. And I said, okay. So he took me out to the sun, and he went inside the sun, and he tried to send solar energy to Earth, and nothing happened. And he came out and he said, I can't do it. He said, I'm not from Earth. He said, you are. He said, you're the only ones that can do this. Human beings can do this. This is your job. If you decide that this is when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So when I finally got okay with that concept, and I finally realized, they told me a while back before that, in another communication which flipped me out and I didn't understand, they said, you're going to fly through the sky like Superman, and you're going to be sending energy to Earth, and and I took it literally, like in the third dimension I was going to physically rise up and fly through the air like Superman. And I said, I don't get it. I don't understand how that can be possible. And they said, you know what? Don't worry about it. When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. And they told me that twice, because I kept on freaking out about this. What the heck are you guys talking about? And sure enough, one day it just dawned on me, and I realized that this is what I'm here for. And this is something that I can do, and that when we meditate and we do these live meditations sending energy to the Earth, that it's going to change everything. I don't know how I knew that, but I just knew it. And then sure enough, we started doing it every week, and almost every time we do it, there would be a big solar storm. Every time we would do it afterwards, there would be some huge event, or there would be some kind of change, sometimes huge events. We did it one time, and afterwards, the light beings were celebrating. They were having a party, and they said, you did it. I said, what did I do? And they said, you did it. You shifted it. It's over now. You made the shift. The dark forces are on the run. You beat them. And I said, okay, whatever. I don't see it, but as always, I doubt the communications they had. And they said, watch what happens. Watch what happens. Everything's going to change. Sure enough, next day, our friend, the politician, almost got his ear shot off, and everything started shifting. And then all of a sudden, the political dynamics started shifting. It's still shifting. And apparently we created that. Something horrible could have happened. But apparently we shifted that event. And then on the 14th, there's something we did on August 14th that blew out my circuitry, and other people had same experiences. And so who knows? Who knows? Maybe the event is coming sooner than we expected. So look, I'm not giving you a psychic prediction. I don't do that. And I don't know what this signifies, but I'm open to the possibility it might signify everything. It might mean that on October 6th, we get to leave. You get to go home. You get to go to a higher version of this earth. It might just mean another event. It might mean nothing. It might just mean that I had some, bad fish the night before and I dreamt October 6th as I was waking up. It could mean any and all of those things. But I try to stay skeptical about all of this. I have from the beginning. I tell you everything that they tell me. And I'm being completely transparent with you. And they tell me things like I'm king of the earth and the supreme ruler of the universe, and you're going to bring that you are going to be solely responsible for bringing the solar flash event. I hold on to my skepticism, but I don't reject any of it. I don't become emotionally attached. I cannot deny that everything has been changing ever since we started doing this. I can't deny that. I can't deny that that the coincidences are very interesting coincidences. And despite all of that, I'm still having these powerful higher dimensional experiences. My body gets flooded with these electromagnetic waves and emotional waves and telepathic communications that are nothing I've ever experienced in my entire life. And so, does that mean that I've completely lost my mind? I can't deny that is a possibility. I'm just being straightforward with you. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm seeing. Here's what they told me. Here's what happens. And they've proven to me over and over again. When they tell me something, unless I'm like desperately trying to manufacture something, then sometimes I've talked myself into thinking they told me something, and those things didn't happen. The things that they tell me that I'm not looking for, especially the ones that I don't like or don't understand, those things always end up happening. So at the very least, I would say this comet is coming into view. It's a comet that only comes to Earth once every 26,000 years. Even if this is the first time it's coming into Earth's domain, it's going to come back in 26,000 years, which means it's going to come back after the Earth has gone through its whole precessional shift. And it's wobbled on its axis one time. That same comet is coming back. So whether it's the beginning of a brand new age, that's how I would interpret that. If this is the first time it's coming in, this is a new age starting now. We got another 26,000 years before the next one comes. If it's already been here, which I haven't gotten a clear answer on, then it means that the age we've just gone through is now officially over. A new one is starting. An interesting comet came in 2012, which I didn't know. And it was one of those comets that comes every 26,000 years. And that comet came and it broke up. It came into between us and the sun, and the light of the sun actually blew it up, and it dissipated. And that was 2012, when the Mayans said that there would be an end of one world and a beginning of another. So that comet ended. Now we've been in this liminal space between 2012 and now. And so I think now, we've been in between programs. I've said this before, but the crazy stuff that's going on, especially with Mandela effects. And, I was talking with somebody the other day that, the world was different 50 years ago. I don't think the world was this evil. It was evil, but I don't think it was this evil. I think maybe the program has become more evil over time, and the past has changed. And you'll see if you look for it, people will say, the sun used to be yellow. I remember the sun being yellow as a kid growing up in the 70s. The sun wasn't bright white. It was yellow. It was bright. You couldn't look at it, but it had a yellow tinge to it. And now it's bright white. We've got a different sun. We know for a fact. I know for a fact. Go look it up. It's a Mandela effect. You'll be able to find. You'll see. What's his name? I keep. Whenever I need to remember somebody's name, I forget it. Tyson, the astronomer. You know, back in 2012, there's video of him saying that the Earth was in the what is that called? The Sagittarius arm of our solar system. And if you go look it up, you'll find out our Earth is not in the Sagittarius arm. People like him don't make those kind of mistakes. It means that something's changed. It's a different world. And so we've been in a liminal different program, because at 2012 the program ended and a new world, we left that world. Everything's been shifting around. We're in a different part of the galaxy than we were, and everything is changing. And now we've got this new comet showing up that's going to only come around every 26,000 years. I think it's the beginning of a new Earth, a new reality. I can't tell you what I know. My third dimensional brain doesn't know what's coming. But I'm going to choose to believe. I'm going to choose to believe, without being attached, that there is a new world that people call 5D. That what's been shown to me is it's a higher octave, a higher frequency of our Earth. And it will be different. It will be a different Earth. And there will be three. There will be a hell that people who refuse to shift will end up living in. It'll be, 1984, worst possible prison planet you can imagine. There will be a middle Earth, so to speak, where people will be shifting up, perhaps in a slower reality. Maybe that's a world where Trump, takes over and all the populists take over and they create a new populist Earth. And then there's going to be the higher version, where people will be living in a completely heaven on earth, different than anything that we've had so far. So that's what I've been led to believe, if I interpret, and again, I'm not attached to any of it. I'm going to choose to believe it because it's a challenge, and I like being challenged. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose to believe it. So we'll see what happens, obviously, but I encourage you to keep doing these interdimensional meditations. Keep doing the practices that I'm teaching. If you want to have access to the most powerful, higher dimensional practices ever released to humankind, go to thunderwizard.com and you can look at the subscriptions, look at the shop that has all of the Maoshan practices. But, whatever it is, just make that decision and start doing the work. No more screwing around. Time, it's over. I was told a while back that my service on planet Earth had come to an end. Most recently, I was told my time on this planet has come to an end. It feels like it. Maybe this is it. I'm not saying that, again, I don't say it because it feels comfortable. It's a frightening thought, but I'm going to stay open to it. And it's okay to be a little bit frightened. What's wrong with something new? Only good can come of it. So anyway, that's it for now, my friends. I love you all. And what I wanted to share with you is that these meditations that we're doing, we're actually going outside of the matrix. And what people have been doing, including people doing meditation, people doing magic, the dark forces using their technology, their magic, they're just working within the matrix. They're trying to change the matrix from within the matrix. They're trying to change the program by using the program. What we've been doing, every time we do these live guided interdimensional meditations, we are going outside of the headset. We're going outside of the program. And we're reprogramming everything. We're changing everything. And this is why I finally believe why these meditations haven't gone viral. Because if they did, and the dark forces knew what we were doing, they would come after us. But we're not on their radar. They're looking for politicians and people like that who could screw up their programming. We're completely outside of it. They're not even thinking about it. It's not even on their radar. but yet there's nothing more powerful. And that's who Tiamat is. She showed up, and if you look at the mythology around who she is, you find out she is the cause of being before the creation. That there's 3 levels of gods between her and us. That there's her, she's like the source of undifferentiated pure power. Beneath that is the gods that are her children. Beneath that are their grandchildren. And then beneath that are the gods. So just the gods that people worship are already the great-grandchildren of the deity who's communicating with me, who's talking with me now. She's behind all of it. She's the source of all of it. Nobody can touch it. And human beings thought they killed her when they lost themselves in the 3rd dimensional haze of the program, because they're now blocked off from the true power. They think it doesn't exist. And now she's come back and she says, nope, I'm still here, and we're going to change this. We're going to shift all this together. And she's working with us. Those of you who are doing these meditations, that's where this power is coming from. So there you go. That's my solar flash update for now. Obviously, you'll be hearing from me soon, unless we shift up. And until such time, my friends, please do remember you are the most powerful being that's ever existed, and that I love you, and I appreciate the fact that you've created me and allowed me to live in this world. And as always, please take very good care of yourselves until I see you again very, very soon.